So I'm super glad to be here today to see all these projects for this edition after 10 intensive weeks. And we will start with Ligia. Let me stop sharing my screen. And the stage is all yours.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Ligia, for the ones that don't know me, and my project is about social time for remote teams. The interest to work on this project comes from a personal experience. Last year, when I was on maternity leave, the pandemic started, and when I got back to work, my daughter was 6 months old, and because of company restructuring, I landed in a new team. So I was working with people that I never met face to face, and also there were two new team members that joined during the pandemic. So to get to know each other better and to start having better collaboration, we started playing games and we started to have some virtual activities like social happy hours. But some activities were feeling a bit too forced and a bit boring. So I was wondering how social time happens in a remote team setup. Because remote team setup and remote work is here to stay. We see now that the pandemic just accelerated it, but a lot of tech companies, they are announcing they're going to adopt a hybrid mode or a fully remote mode where people can work most days from home. And this is very good and has a lot of benefits and enables a very good work-life balance. But on the other hand, employees can feel very disconnected from their team members. And to mitigate this, social activities are one of the main things that can help people to feel closer. According to research, social activities at work reduce stress, increase communication, and improve team collaboration. So ultimately improve all the projects at work. But the problem is that sometimes scheduled team bonding can feel forced, boring, or sometimes it's taking too much time from people's working schedule. So how can we make social activities more dynamic so everyone feels engaged to participate? To investigate this problem, I set up the research goals, and the main one was what kind of activities teams have in a remote setup, how that impact the work schedule, how employees feel about accepting or declining to participate on these events, and if introverted people may react different from extroverted people. So how team members also, do they have a say in the activities or is proposed by the team manager? So the method that I used was first desk research. So I did a lot of analysis of existing articles, studies, also had a look at what's out there, doing a competitive landscape. And I did two user segments. I had two user segments. One was team leads, the other one was team members. And also I published a survey via Google Forms. In total, I had 8 interviews and 73 survey responses. The main insights for the qualitative research was that people love little spontaneous conversations. It's one of the favorite interactions that people have. Also, they want to decide together on what activities to have, and they don't want to feel forced to participate because mandatory fun is no fun at all. Long activities also annoy people with busy schedules. When something takes more than 45 minutes, people are very likely to decline, especially if it's during their working hours. And virtual activities, people prefer to gather in small groups. And that I saw, especially people with traits of introverted, people that are more introverted people, they prefer to be in a smaller group. Otherwise, they don't feel like interacting much. They don't want to interrupt when there is a big group. The main 3 insights from my quantitative research is that 41% of activities are proposed by the team lead. The others coming from HR or party committees. Also, I found out that 62% have positive feelings about playing game at work. They play games and they love it. And 25% of employees that decline to participate on these events is because it's outside their working hours. And that's especially for people with families and small children. So I had two archetypes, the team lead and the timid team member. The main pain points from the team lead is that she wants to enable the team to socialize because she knows that this increases team collaboration, but she doesn't want to lose track of the project progression. She wants them to socialize, but not take too much time from their working schedule. And the timid team member needs to socialize. She wants to connect to 2 or 3 peers that she has more friendship, but she doesn't want to take too much time from her working schedule either, and not gather in a big room with 30 people on a happy hour. So the final hypothesis is we believe that enabling teams to have little social breaks throughout the working week for remote teams will improve the engagement in social activities and make them feel more dynamic and spontaneous. So how might we enable little social breaks during the day that allow people to recharge, but don't disrupt their workload? I started to ideate, and for the ideation phase, I used a lot of pen and paper, a lot of Post-its, and I came up also with some ideas using Miro. And the value proposition of my solution is create a tool to enable spontaneous, fun, and relaxed moments of social interactions for remote teammates. So the tool that I created was mainly to use on the desktop web, because people already are using their computers at work, so it doesn't make sense to have the app on the phone. I will have in the future, but now I developed the desktop version. And the main features that covers the main pain points and the needs from my users are to have a calendar sync, so they can find free slots for social time without the need of scheduling time, because the app syncs automatically. And also allow them to play mini games and challenges. I saw in the research that people do play games and they like it, so I wanted to keep this. And also get some rewards, so they can feel motivated to participate and collaborate with their peers. So I did a lot of takes and iterations on the sitemap, on the features, but I concentrated on this main tree. Here are some wireframes and iterations that I did. And I conducted usability testing, and that was really, really helpful. I got a lot of valuable information from the tests. And the main changes that I did after the usability testing was to make the mood meter more prominent, because I had this feature at the beginning and it was the same hierarchy as the other features in the tool. But I saw from the usability test that people really enjoyed this feature, as they could see how other teammates are feeling, how they can approach them. And also that if you have this information, perhaps the tool could suggest you an activity to play. Also, the calendar sync at the first, I had just a button that was allowing you to connect with your calendar, but you couldn't select the days. But I saw that some people don't want, for example, to have more notifications on Mondays, because on Mondays they have the planning week, they have a lot of meetings, so they are very fully booked. And also I had a feature which was a leaderboard, that you could see other teammates, if they were playing or not playing, how many points they had. But I removed that because I got feedback that this could generate a little bit of conflict, like people that were playing more than they should. So I removed that feature completely. So the final branding is fun, is vibrant, and it's called Togi. For the mood board, I joined these two concepts of vibrant and office nostalgia, because in the office back in the 50s, from the 50s to the 80s, there was a lot of office spaces booming, and people were having like most of their times, spending most of their days and time in the office. So merging this language with these vibrant colors, which in the end, my product is to bring some happiness and some brightness to their days. So to merge these two concepts, I used a creative language of collage. And that's the illustrations that I created. And I wanted this quirky feeling of some fun and vibrant colors. This is the design system. And let's have a look at the final prototype. So I hope you can see well. I'm going to show. Can you see it well? Hopefully.
Yes.
Okay, so here you can have a look at the landing page. You can request a demo, start now, or you can see the main features. Sorry, I think I'm going back to the feed here. So you start now, and when you start, you have a little onboarding in the app. You type your name, you create your account, and then you can select if you are a team coordinator or a team member. If you are a team coordinator, you can add some more features like selecting the reward for the team. But in this case, I'm a team member, so I'm clicking here. I add my photo, put my interests, and enter. For the calendar sync, it's suggesting me to connect all the days, but I can also change that and just sync maybe 3 days of the week. I sync my calendar. So my calendar is synced, I allow notifications, and I'm going to receive notifications whenever me and other person from my team have some free time in their calendars. So let's imagine I receive the notification, I will start using Togi. And in here, you land in the actual app where you can see the second level of navigation. There is a mood meter, or you can jump to activities and play the games. But let's have a look at how the mood meter works. So today I'm feeling a bit unsure because I didn't sleep well. So I enter my mood. I can see that I receive a tip. It's recommending me to play an art challenge to lift my mood. I can show my mood to the team or not. This also I placed after having usability test. Some people don't want to allow team mood to show to their teams. And then you play the activity. And here you can play puzzles, Pictionary, or you can play some challenges with your team, or you can suggest activities and vote. So let's have a look at the pixel art that the app's recommending me. I click play, and then I start using. I see a little tutorial on how to use, so I can use the tools to draw on the board. I see who is connected. I can invite more people. And I also can activate my voice chat, so I can have a little chat while we are playing this challenge. So we start drawing, and I see the progression bar is moving. I also could perhaps place the camera and place the chat, but the main feature here is the voice chat, because by my research, I saw that people have a lot of video fatigue, camera fatigue. So I continue, I draw, I finish. I can download, I could share with my team, or I can see my points. So ta-da, I see that I have completed my 5 challenges, and I want to collect my reward. So the reward for this month is 30 euros voucher, Amazon voucher. It's saying here that maybe next time it could be a lunch or maybe a breakfast delivery. So I would definitely come back to find out what's the next reward next month. But I'm now adding the voucher to my account. And I end up in this dashboard where I can see my reward. I can see what I played. I can see also the new hires that I have in my team, view their interests. Maybe this could be a good conversation starter if I know what they like. And my weekly mood, my team's mood, my latest interactions, and my availability. So I can go back here and maybe play other challenges. But now... are you seeing my switch screen? Sorry.
We are not seeing your screen.
No, I am not seeing.
But you saw the prototype, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, just now it went on.
Okay, why is not sharing? Sorry about that. So I just have one more screen. Can you see now?
Yes, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So have fun with your team, and thank you.
Hey.
Nice. Thank you, Lydia. I really like your UI. Like, it's amazing. And I have a question. I don't know if I miss it, but why you decide to do it on a desktop? And not
Yes, because this app is mainly to be used while people are working, and when people are working, they're already using their computer.
But did you find it in your research, or it was a?
Yeah, people are like they play games on like quizzes and things. They already play games using the computer, so that's why I decided to create it on the desktop.
Nice. And also, just wondering, the rewards, like for example, the 30 euros by Amazon, is something that your company pay you, like give you, or the platform? Like, how is the?
No, it's something that the team coordinator needs to set, because I
Oh,
saw by the research as well that a lot of teams, they have budget for entertainment. So the companies, they really have a budget set aside for entertainment. And yeah, so it could be, yeah, breakfast delivery, could be a lunch, could be like small things for the team to just motivate them to connect,
yeah.
collaborate better.
Awesome. Yes, nice presentation. Well done.
Thank you.
I don't know if there is any question from the audience.
Hey, Lydia,
So-
thank you. Super nice presentation. I have two questions. So the first one, is it like you are just considering the team, but maybe this is a tool to be bought by the company. So it might be that you need to have to consider, like, you have a space, you know, like Confluence and all this stuff. You have a space for the company, and in there, then all the teams can be created and stuff like that. If you think about a solution that you could sell to companies,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, actually, I was thinking that the business model would be an enterprise model.
Yeah.
So also in the landing page, you could see like a demo. But yeah, I didn't develop the flow for the team coordinator, but in the team coordinator flow, we would have more options.
Yeah. Okay, cool. The other thing that I was thinking about is that you talk a lot about being spontaneous, and people like that these things just show up but don't disturb them so much, etc. And I was thinking if you thought about some sort of integration with Slack, for example. This is a tool that we are always using, and Slack allows a lot of integrations, a lot of plugins with other apps and products, etc. Because I was thinking, like, isn't that, or could it be that is a problem that people need to go to this website or to this platform every day? Or wouldn't it make sense to make it a little bit more easier to use it?
Yeah, definitely. The idea was to have a calendar sync, so you would receive a notification, you would click and go straight to the app, but could be through Slack as well, the notification.
Yeah, I think if you continue to evolve your business model, then all of these stuff will start to come along, and for sure you'll think about it. Overall, great work. Congratulations, Ligia.
Thank you.
Nice. Thank you, Susanna. More questions? All clear. Thank you so much, Lydia.
Thank you. And stop
Nice.
sharing.
So the next one is going to be Eva.
Yes, hello. Oh, I'm very nervous. Okay, let me share my screen first. It's gonna be this one. Is sharing?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. So let me start. My name is Eva. I'm from here, from Spain, and I have developed an idea of a mobile application called Growship that it's about finding scholarships, not looking for them, but finding them. So the idea comes from here. Like, this is me at the age of 16 years old. So I'm 27 right now, and I just want to point out that I was able to go to Cambridge for study an English degree. Well, not degree, an English certificate. My university degree and my master's degrees. Everything was done with a scholarship. So I come from. I don't know if I heard something, but I cannot see myself. So if you have to tell me something, tell me.
No, you're doing great. You're doing
Okay,
great.
okay.
No worries.
Because I feel like a pling, and I don't know. Asking me
worries.
something. Yeah, so I come from a very humble family. I'm not afraid of saying that. If it wasn't for scholarships, probably I wouldn't be able to have a university degree and a master's career, and also have this level of English that I have nowadays. So I know how important is scholarships for people. And yeah, this is me at 16. So why I am doing this? I want to help families with economic limitations. I want to provide updated and complete information about scholarships to the people that really need it and are interested in that. because I want to avoid talent loss. So I think it's very unfair that because you don't have the money, you cannot study something that you really like and something that you are very good at it. So I think it's very important. So that's why I want to boost the career development in equality conditions, so everyone can be the best version of themselves, studying something that they really like and they are good at it. So that's the idea. Now we start with the research process. There are I started with my desk research, and there are two main ways to find out about scholarships: mobile applications and web pages. What all of these things do, basically, it's to there are search engines that where you can use the filters, you can put what you are interested in, but they don't they don't send you the information if you don't look for it. So sometimes there is some information missing in between, a lack of notifications, and all of them actually work the same way. Most part of them are very outdated, scholarships information are changing every year, so you have to be very updated in order to to be able to catch them on time, apply for them on time. So I saw there a big gap in the market, sorry. So my main hypothesis is that we believe that improve the communication between entities that offer scholarships and potential candidates we will achieve an increase of study opportunities. Okay, so in terms of, I did some interviews and surveys. I did 6 interviews. Most part of the people was from Spain, but it was also a guy from Venezuela studying with a lot of scholarships right now in United States. So it was a very good interview, that one. And the survey, I was very surprised because it had 219 answers. And my target was people between 16 and 35 years old, like people that is studying right now and want to have a scholarship, and also people that had this experience in the past. So I can see the difference, if something has changed, if something is improving, and worldwide. Yeah, because my survey, thanks for one of my interviewers. It is a girl that has a webpage where she shares a lot of information about scholarships, and that webpage has a lot of audience from Latin America. So I know that half of that survey answers are from people from countries from Latin America in general. So the highlights from my interviews and my surveys, 82% of the people said that there are a lack of counseling, no one guides them. There is a lack of information, of people telling them those are the scholarships available. This is how you apply for them. These requirements means this, this, and this. And then the 80% of them don't really know how to start searching, because there is a lot of unstructured information and there is a lot of bureaucracy in between. Everything, the requirements are written down in a very difficult way to understand for a normal person, especially for students that are teenagers. So, and that teenagers have a very short, people in general, we have a short amount of time of being focused into something that is complicated. So after, when you start searching, if you have to read a lot of things, you lose the interest in between. So maybe you will lose opportunities because you didn't find what you were looking for. Based on that, I did 2 archetypes: the university student and the explorer. The university student is this person that have in mind the career they want to study, where they want to go, and so they are looking for a specific scholarship in something like their career they have chosen, and want to know what's going on. They really want to study something, and without the scholarship, maybe they are not able to do it, or maybe they're not able to do it in that specific place they want to do it, or in that specific path. And then we have the explorer, which is the other type of person, the archetype, that is someone that is not interested specifically in something, but it has interest in knowing what it is out there, because maybe he's someone that likes a lot of different things. So maybe he's interested into a music course or a language course, and he cannot afford it, but he can ask for a scholarship. He doesn't know that exists. So he wants to know, he wants to discover all of these opportunities. So my main insight is that when researching for scholarships, students find out that there is a lot of unstructured information, to lose a lot of time finding the scholarship they can apply for. This can cause opportunity loss when not finding all the available scholarships. And based on that, I create a few how my WIS structured the information about the scholarships to make it more accessible to students. There are more. Make a more effective scholarships research process for the students so they can easily find the available scholarships they can apply for. How might we make a more effective scholarships research process for the students in order to reduce the research time? And finally, how might we help the students to apply for the scholarships to find the scholarships they can apply for, the ones made for them. So that was the research. And based on that, there are like three main problems I really want to solve. The research process, that is horrible. There is a lot of information, unstructured, and probably you will not find what you're looking for. The problem of the awareness. How do you know about new scholarships? There is not a notification system. No one tells you. You have to go and find out by yourself. And adapt the language. Adapt the language means the requirements are written down in a very complicated way, as I said. So try to adapt that to do like a summary with just the main information that it's really needed to understand if you can apply for the scholarship or not. So this will make the process of searching and selecting the scholarship easy and shorter. Okay. So the ideation process, there are my crazy. I started, I don't know, creating something based on nothing. I had no idea. I think this part is the part I struggle the most because I have the idea very clear and I have the flow very clear. But in terms of design, I really love what Ligia did, but me, I struggle a little bit. So this is my mood board. I wanted to take the idea of growing plants because, you know, we as humans, we grow, our brain grow. So when we travel, when we go to another countries, not just to study, but to discover other cultures, we grow, right? Our brain, we have a different vision. So I wanted to put that in my application, and that's why I chose those colors. I wanted the green because of it represents Chrome. I want to use blue as well because it represents I don't know how to say this word in English, reliability. And I choose yellow in the end because of the optimist and because it also, this hot colors, warm colors are more related with enthusiasm and this type of thing. So you have here a little bit of my wireframes from the mockup. This is my user flow. As Ligia said, I also did a lot on paper. I didn't want to put everything in here, but this is like the mess of the mess, like different flows, all the things I want to do, but I didn't do because this is just a prototype, but there are a lot of ideas in here that I really like to develop. And I choose the red route, which is very, very, very simplifying here. So it's about, like you will see on the mockup, register, see your personalized results, save the scholarship you're interested in, and apply for it, basically. So I did a few testing, not exactly the way I had to. I mean, I really wanted to do it, and also, the bad thing about my testing was that the people I tested with, they said they liked it and everything was fine. So I was like, could you be a little bit more, hard on me, because I know it's not perfect and there are things that we have to improve. So it was a little bit for me. So, but I changed a few things. Basically, I stuck into just one primary color and used the rest like as little things here and there, but just like white, black, and this blue that I really like, well, blue, green. Delete unnecessary steps on my flow in the beginning, so it's easy, clear, quick, and this is was thanks to my colleagues and my teachers and my TAs to set the same style of buttons, like illustrations and icons, so it looks like it is the same application all the time. So now we're gonna see my prototype. It's pretty simple, you will see. So you can continue with Facebook or with Google or register with your email. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. So this is like an onboarding. It tells you what's going to happen. Create your profile by filling out our form. We will look for the scholarships you can apply for based on your own personal profile. Okay, next. Your results. We will show you personalized selection of scholarships. You can use our filters to check specific results. Unlike and apply. Have you found a scholarship you have interest in? Check the requirements and details and save it in your favorites and apply it. So this is what my application does, basically. So you have to put your personal information in here. You save it. Then you have like three main profiles: the professional, the complementary, and the explorer. The professional, it's when you have a clear vision of what do you want to do, like you are looking for a specific career and specific master because you are, you know your career, the one you want to study. Complementary, it's about you have a real career and you want to grow more. You want to have complementary formation, so your value as a worker increase. And then the explorer, that it's okay, let me discover the scholarships I might be interested in and the ones that I can apply for. So I choose the route of the explorer. You have to choose some interests. Now they are marked, we finished, and this is your profile. It shows you a summary of all the things that you have selected, and it lets you go to explore. So this is the results of the scholarships. I want to improve the UI because I think it's very simple, but well, all the results in here are mixed. So if you want to filter, we have this page where you can filter by type of study, by type of coverage, because some scholarships cover everything and some of them just partial. It's a partial coverage. The localization that you have chosen before, and all your interests are here. So I'll choose Spain, and now they are filtered. Now there are the scholarships for languages in Spain. So let me go to my scholarship, and this is the result. As you can see, the information, it's clear. You have the deadline there, a little bit of the description of the scholarship, the requirements, the procedure. You have the forms that you can click, and it sends you to the real form, the location of the scholarship, similar scholarships here, and comments, because maybe you have doubts and someone has asked about this before, and you can view all. But what if you are not sure if you want to apply or not? You can save it into your favorites and accept the notifications. Now it's saved into your favorites. If you want to continue explore, you can go to the university profile when you can see the scholarships they offer and a little bit of contact information. And then you can check your favorites in here. That's the scholarship that you saved into favorites, and the main dashboard. As I said, one of the things I want to improve is my UI because it's very simple, but I wanted to make it clear and easy to use and funny. And in the end, other things, next steps, other things I want to do. The notification system, I didn't do it on the mockup, but I think this is one of the most important things of my concept. The fact that you can put your profile, your details, and when there is a new scholarship you can apply for, someone sending you a notification, that's a super good way for not losing any opportunity. I also want to develop like a scholarship comparator, so you can add into your favorites several scholarships, and then you can compare them, like the coverage or where they are, or like in which university, what they offer, and you can compare things. And also maybe a career tracker, like, okay, now you have applied for this university scholarship. What is next? Do you want to add that into your profile so you can see how your career is growing? And you, because sometimes we don't see how much we are developing ourselves, but if you add all your information into your profile, you can see how much you are growing as a person and as a student, worker, or whatever you are. And that's it. End of my presentation.
Nice, Eva.
Okay.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you for the context, and it's a super interesting subject. I really like it. So, any question? I will be two questions because it was a little bit long.
It was very long.
Kind of.
Ah,
But no worries. So let's go for two questions and then we can continue. Questions? No questions? Awesome. It was super clear.
I don't know
Thank
if it's
you,
good
Eva.
or bad. I have no
No, that was good because
Okay.
you show all your process then.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so the next one is going to be Carolina, I guess.
Hello.
Yes.
Let me know if you have any problems with the connection. If you can't hear me at any time, just let me know. Sometimes
Awesome.
my internet can be crazy. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So hello, for people that might not know me, my name is Carolina. And basically what I chose for my project, the topic is personalized education. And the reason why I chose this is because I've been teaching for the past 5 years. I started teaching in Vietnam. I lived there for a year, and I started off from the bottom, meaning that it was very unstructured, and it was really interesting to go in there and kind of help them build all of their material. And that's where I started realizing, like, there's just so much potential in building education, and so many things you can do. So just to give you an idea, this is not what personalized education looks like. Everything here is the same. They're doing the same thing. There's no sort of individualism. And just an overlook of what personalized education is. It's basically when a teacher can customize learning experiences for each student based on their strengths, needs, skills, and interests. I was a bit overwhelmed at the beginning because I thought that this topic was very broad and I didn't know how to tackle it. But I found this quote and I really liked it. And it says how basically it's not such a huge task if teachers are just able to make small adjustments and stick to them to each student. So that was the source of inspiration. And another source of inspiration was a center that I collaborated with in Barcelona called Learn Life. And it's an innovative education startup company or learning center. And they are really interesting because they use design thinking and iteration to personalize learning experiences. And it's just a really beautiful thing to see these students go in there with what they really want to do in life and give it a shot. And it's like learn by doing. So that's where my inspiration majorly came from. So after I chose personalized education, I did some market research to see like what kind of tools teachers were using. Class Dojo and Seesaw are more education oriented, but I was surprised to find out that there's also a lot of tools out there that aren't so education oriented, like Monday.com or Slack or Miro, or even things like Google Docs, which is practical, but it has its issues. So after I did desk research, I realized that there was so much information, especially after COVID and the pandemic, because everything went online. So there was like a vast ocean of just so many new products, and I didn't know which problem to focus on. So I found an angle. I realized that there's a lot of products out there that help teachers deliver personalized education, but there wasn't a lot out there that helped them with the process of creating, sharing, and tracking their personalized or their students' personalized learning paths. So my users are teachers, and I chose them because I think that they're kind of like the gatekeepers to that change, to be able to personalize. And I wanted to help teachers create and track their personalized learning experiences. My problem at the beginning, so basically teachers have a difficult time creating these personalized learning experiences, and the root cause was due to lack of time, collaboration, and structure. They didn't have the proper structure or support to be able to do that. So my hypothesis was that we believe that providing a collaborative structure for educators to co-create learning experiences will make personalized education more feasible. I did some user interviews and I collected patterns in things that they were all saying. And I found 3 segments, which were collaboration, communication, and awareness, 3 areas that are fundamental and yet lacking. So collaboration is definitely important. It would save them time to be able to work on things that aren't necessarily relevant to students, like administrative tasks, work on that together so that they could focus on students. Communication, which was also an issue, surprisingly. And awareness, meaning that a lot of teachers don't even know who their students are, and these students go into their classrooms and they have to figure out who they are as they go along, which can be a hit or miss because the information is not documented properly or it is not easily accessible for whatever reason. My insights, I kind of gathered 6 that I wanted to focus on. Specialization, and what I mean by that is that there's a lot of products out there that teachers use that are not created for education, which has its issues. Goal tracking was a huge thing for personalization, which seems obvious, but it was interesting to see how important it was. Again, awareness and how teachers didn't have awareness of their students' backgrounds, which is very important as well if you want to personalize. Collaboration and the administrative task section and how they spend so much time doing other things outside of the classroom that they can't really put all that effort with the students. Communication, in my quantitative surveys, 70% of teachers agreed that it was crucial for them to communicate with each other, and yet they confessed that that was an area that wasn't always very strong. And efficiency, in the sense of teachers complained that they spent a lot of unnecessary time sharing documents, copying, and all of this, which took away time from them. I found this quote that I really liked, and actually the center that I was at, Learn Life, had this posted on their wall, and I really liked it. It takes a community to raise a child, and that was kind of the fundamental backbone to the project, that I want it to be something collaborative so that teachers don't feel isolated and they can do this together. I reframed the problem, and I made sure to add in the tracking of learners' goals, making it time efficient, and creating support when creating learning experiences. So how might we empower teachers to do this? I had a few archetypes, however, well, I had 3. I really wanted to focus on the innovator. And the reason why I focused on the innovator was because I really feel that this is the section that if we can feed, it can drive kind of a force and it could push the education system in that direction. So goals, basically the innovator is the person that already has a sense of what personalized education is. However, they might not have the structure nor the tools. And this is a direct link from one of the users that said that she spent so much time on administrative tasks and that she would love for teachers to be able to collaborate more so that they could focus more on students. This was one of the first Crazy 8s that we did in the classroom, just kind of brainstorming ideas, and I had a hard time finding it. I had to dig through Slack and my emails, and I finally found it, which was nice. And that drove me to ideas and elements. And I came to this idea that I wanted to create a tool that allowed teachers to manage their schedules because time was such a limited commodity. I wanted them to be able to communicate, collaborate, and build ideas. And the elements that I decided on were collaborative whiteboards for individual student plans, brainstorming, designing. I wanted there to be real-time communication. I wanted there to be easy sharing. This is all based on the research and the user interviews. Easy sharing for them to invite other teachers to join and participate. I wanted to provide built-in templates for teachers that might not know how to personalize education, so that they have some already there to provide the structure. And at the same time, I wanted them to be able to create and share their own templates to provide for the community and create that learning communities feel. It would have a built-in agenda synced to their personal calendar, and it would have reminders on meetings, events, and upcoming activities. These were some of my first sketches. The original one had a calendar, and something that I had to discard was that, so here you can see that there's avatars. Originally, the students were going to create their own avatars, and I thought that that would be a fun thing. And this product, which I decided to be a desktop web, this product originally was going to be for both students and teachers. However, for this particular project, I decided to just focus on one user, which would be the teachers, and I will expand on that afterwards. So the idea is that this is a collaborative board. You have a message, you have a chat box here communicating with other teachers. That evolved. Here are some wireframes. Originally, it was a dark UI, and I changed that because I had one of my user tests. One of the users said that the colors were they contrasted too much and they couldn't see so well. And it evolved. I changed the dashboard, changed the colors. One of my users in my interview said that the dashboard was a bit muddled, and so I kind of cleaned it up a bit. I also made sure to make sure that the buttons that you clicked stood out because they didn't know where to click and things like that. And as I progressed, I also made sure that the white collaborative board here was a scrolling board to make it more realistic, and yeah. So this is just a little summary of my user tests. There's a lot going on in the dashboard, the dark UI. I had to rechange the buttons, make them more visually accessible because I put them in weird locations on the first round, like putting them on the very bottom corner, for example, and I had to change it to the top right corner so it was more accessible to the eyes. My design system, I chose these kind of contrasting colors, a gradient, I guess you could say, from darker blue to teal to light baby blue and so on, because I wanted it to be fresh, simple, and clean. And also the text was very basic. I chose, purposely I chose Roboto, and I just chose one text because I realized that there's teachers out there that are tech savvy, and then there's also teachers that are not as tech savvy, and they're kind of jumping into that digital transformation within education. So I just wanted it to be as simple as possible. And here is my mockup. So you land on the page, and you can see it kind of gives you an overview of what it's all about. And you go into the login, you put in your information, and you reach the dashboard. And here's class behavior, or RTI, which is a term, response to intervention, for behavioral issues or students with some sort of academic issue. You have this student, which you have a notification. And you have this scrolling board. I try to make it a little bit more realistic. I added a design thinking template, well, empathy map, basically, because one of my users in my interviews said how she used it one time and how she was using it in her classes and how it had changed and helped her so much to brainstorm with other teachers. So I used that element. And so here you have a message from a teacher. You would, she's asking you to add in her goals for the trimester. So you would add in her goals. You would reply to her. And then it's very simple. It's just showing the communication portion of it all. And then you would go back to the main board. So that is essentially it. I just wanted to show the most essential features. Why is the solution valuable? I think it provides easy collaboration for teachers. It could save them time, potentially, by working together. It has real-time communication. You don't have to wait for an email or a meeting or any kind of, in-person things. It's quite simple, and it provides order for them to manage their classes, their students, according to their calendar. It has transparency and accessibility, which means that it's an easy way to document students' growth, needs, and backgrounds. And once you invite teachers, they have access to it, as long as it's your student. And you could always go back and see how they're doing. and efficiency, because you don't have to spend time creating, copying, sharing, blah, 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 blah. It's just a one-time, you have access, and that's about it. I also had a little bit of extra time, and I created a little wireframe. I haven't finished it, but it's something that I would like to keep working on for the website, the desktop web. So yeah, you would go in, you have the upcoming meetings. Here I have a little marketing thing about how if you create your own templates and share them in the community board, you can win a prize. You have the messages that had popped up in the collaborative board, and yeah, so it shows that whole little process. And yeah, I don't know if I mentioned I chose a desktop web because teachers tend to work on their computers most of the time. And so that's why I chose it. And that is it. So thank you.
Thank you, Carolina. I don't know if there is any question there. Diana, long time.
Okay, I'm gonna start. So thank you, Carolina, for presenting this. It was very good, and it was very nice to see all your process and how everything evolved. It was really super clear. Really enjoyed watching your presentation. I have a question about the archetypes. So you said at the end that you are designing this just for the teacher, which is great, and that you also had 2 extra archetypes. Question: one of those was a student by any chance? Okay, so like in your research, is that maybe some information that you got about the students so that it can help you with the design, and maybe not, and that's okay. And if it wasn't there, how would you plan to actually like research on students, because I know it's hard.
Oh, you mean how would I expand this app to include students?
Yeah, in terms of research, I know you haven't included in the archetype. So if you were to address these to students as well, where would you start with, and what would you research?
Luckily, I'm a teacher, so I would probably just tackle my students.
Okay.
No, but I guess I would probably just go. Yeah, I would go to them and I would figure out what they use, like what are apps that they use on the regular that they find entertaining, or that they enjoy. So it would kind of take on a different spin. Yeah, but it's something that I do want to tackle because I think that would make it a more comprehensive thing or a complete thing.
Okay, great, awesome, thanks.
You're welcome.
Ligia y Susana. A ver, Ligia primero. In English, sorry.
Sorry, just a comment. Really like your work, Carolina. Really relevant. And I was wondering if perhaps you considered maybe inviting also parents to maybe collaborate in this board. Because as a parent, I think it's so good when you receive the reports from the school. The kids are most of the time at the school, so it would be great to maybe put the inputs of the parents as well to complement this empathy map.
Thank you. You know what? I really did want to, but it just, at that time, I was like, how am I going to get all this? But it's just something that I want to keep developing. And I also thought like it would be so cool to get parents, teachers, and students all on board so they could all see what's going on. But for now, I just focused on teachers. But thank you, Lydia.
Susana?
Yeah, I want to keep it short. I also thought it was a great presentation, super clear. I really think this is like where education should go. Hopefully, it feels much more human. And let's see if it goes that way. And I was wondering, because you were saying that you were doing this for teachers, super, but you were also mentioning that you have teachers that are tech savvy, so they are pretty okay working with these tools, and others that are not. And I was thinking, did you manage to test this interface, or how do you envision this collaboration? Because it might be a blocker. So if you're working with teachers, some of them will work fine with the tool, others no, or they will take longer to reply. It could actually break the process. Did you thought about it?
Maybe that could be something that I could tackle on the onboarding. Maybe I could make like a really clear like motion onboarding where it tells you like everything.
Or some training for the schools or something like that. Because that, if you make a business plan and if you start to evolve your idea more, this is something you need to consider. Because as you told, there are many teachers that are not tech savvy. So you don't want that to be a blocker for your product. So
Thank you.
that was just it. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Carolina. Great work. Let's go with the next one. It's Natalia. I am seeing faces.
Yes. Hello.
In the beginning.
How are you? Yes, I know. I just wanted to say first to Carolina that I really like your project because I think that it's more about adaptive education, and I think that's for sure the future of education. Like the bootcamp we are doing, like it's not a formal kind of education. It's way more useful than other kinds that are more like structured. So I think that's for me the most important part.
Thank you, Natalia.
You're welcome. So I will start presenting. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, it's chart now. Perfect.
Perfect. So welcome, and my name is Natalia. I am from Argentina, and I will tell you about my project that is called WANET. So first, I want to say that I feel super inspired about female creativity. I think that women by nature, we are like creatives, but we do not all create from the same point. So I focus my project on how women develop their careers in foreign countries. I am a foreign, so I feel super related to this topic as well as all of you ladies, because I've been living in Barcelona for 8 years now, and it took me a very long time to find opportunities to collaborate and work in with local people, or to find myself even in my career. So that's my my start point. I want to say also that I did a lot of test research that is not mentioned here because it was too overwhelming, and at the end I didn't find any conclusions from that. So my design process was the design thinking, of course. So at first I decided to empathize with the situation and to learn more about it, because I only have my point of view, but I wanted to learn about other people. So I interviewed 8 ladies in total that were living in completely different countries from completely different situations and backgrounds. And my main learning from that was that all of them loved collaborating with other women. Most of them had the chance, and that was super like a highlight in their career process, mainly for people that were starting from scratch. Also, I want to mention a quote from one of the interviews where one of them said, I had to work in whatever I found, even though I had 10 years of experience career, until I made the right connections. Then I made a survey. I got 97 responses. 60% of the women that responded said that it's challenging to set your career abroad. Of course, that's not new, but I wanted to like make sure that I was thinking the same way. 46% of them said that they got real good work and life opportunities once they created a local network. So from there, I want to say that I had a lot of information, like massive information. I spent a lot of days trying to classify the information, trying to find the right process. So I chosen the affinity map because I really needed to empathize with the situation and to clarify what I was looking for with this problem. So I realized that there were different circumstances, and of course, all of them had challenges, but the need was pretty much the same, like finding places to collaborate. This is a word that you will hear a lot in my presentation because I strongly believe in like collaboration in general. I'm working on, of course, on a project focused on women, but in general, I think that's a way. Something interesting was that women felt inspired by working in collaboration with other women because of the creativity they found and how much we empower each other. From that point, I decided to create my archetypes. So I found 3. You have the adventurer, who is the one that is looking for a life experience in a different country as a personal growth, not only professional, but finds hard to start developing her career, and also finds frustrating to have to search on digital platforms that at the end are too generic and too broad. So, well, and also this profile tends to attend to all kinds of activities that you imagine. I find super related to this profile because when I decided to go to live abroad, I decided to do as much as I could to get to know myself and to get to know how I could fit. Also, you have another archetype that is, for me, super interesting, that is the creator. The creator has the need to create spaces to support people. She wants to share her passions, and she also wants to share her knowledge. And also, she wants to work as a facilitator. She is a person that has the ability to join people that can match, to work or collaborate, or to even make a friendship. And it's a person that tends to organize workshops, webinars, talks. And then I had another archetype that was the mentor. So the mentor is a person that has a lot of experience in certain fields, and as a personal need, she wants to also share her passions and expertise, but also needs to motivate people in order to motivate herself as well. So it's a person that doesn't have much time to get super involved in projects, but wants to collaborate or advise in her possibilities. So how might we is based on something that I was reading a lot about, that is also teamwork collaboration. So how might we create a collaborative space that can work as an interconnected team in which every skill is essential? So this is the thing. For me, every person, and in this case, every woman, has a very unique skill, but sometimes it's hard to find the places or the atmospheres to put those things together and to make it work. So my ideation process was with the Crazy Eights, basically. I found them super useful, and also because I did it with my buddy and also with some of my teammates. And it's really interesting because even though all of them didn't have much information of my project, it's like we all had the same idea of how the project should look like. So my ideation process had some insights. There were some things that I wanted to achieve. I wanted to create a community for women to find opportunities to work in mutual collaboration. I wanted to inspire each other by sharing knowledge and mutual empowerment. And I wanted to create a networking, and I wanted them, to create networking and connect with other women with shared goals and passions here. So my first prototype was super useless. I realized that I was planting a task, a specific task that the person had to follow, from the very beginning to the very end. And it was not collaborative at all. It was just get into this website, find a mentor or become a mentor. Those were the two possibilities I wanted to work on. And I wanted to create a space that could tell you which persons had the same interests as you had, and maybe you could invite them to to share, let's say, a life experience, a food experience or a concert, in order to start connecting with people. But I realized that I was trying to force things to happen that I couldn't control or that I couldn't really solve. So I did my first tests, and they went really bad because I didn't have copy at all. Thank you, Mercedes, for making me learn that. Well, all of them felt super lost in what they had to do, what they wanted to achieve, and what was this whole project about. So I decided to start all from scratch again and to focus on one simple task that I wanted the person to do, and from there see where this community could go. So my mood board, it's inspired in nature, of course. I'm passionate about nature because I think nature is super collaborative, and I think it's like these colors in particular are in almost all of the fields. Well, the blue, we all love blue. Most of the areas of work, let's say, use blue, like education, technology, architecture, communication, design. So I felt that it was a color that could put people together. And also, I wanted to use orange because it's a color that is very vibrant and it's also super, like, invites to creativity. And from there, I designed my design system. I wanted it to be super clear and straight to the point. I wanted to use only one type of typography. And also, I wanted to have very clear buttons. Sorry, I also had my icons, but I don't know what happened. So now I'm going to show you my prototype. So basically, this is the landing page. Here you have an onboarding of what you can find in this app. From the test, I realized that people need like comments from real users. So an onboarding that is based on illustrations or pictures, like very nice pictures, sometimes doesn't make people feel connected. So I decided to use some comments of people that already use the app. From there, you create your profile. This is very important. In order to use this app, you have to create a profile because according to your needs, this is going to show you what kind of communities you have in the city you are looking for. And also, you will see, well, what kind of collaborations you can create. So you have to set, like, you cannot start if you don't register. So you register, you can review your profile to see if everything is okay, and then you explore. So in the homepage, you can find, well, communities that are suggested that might interest you. So we have different ones. You also have top communities in your city that are the ones that have more activity or collaborations. And then you have people like top community contributors. These are basically the creators, the people that are in constant like action and in constant organization. So my user is an interior designer, so she wants to know about design. So she reads a bit of information about the community. She wants to join the community, but first she has to fill in a form in which she has to say why she wants to join the community and what she can contribute to that. So she fills in the form, and well, it says that she will receive a notification. Then you can go, once you are invited to participate, you start having a dashboard with your communities. So these are the communities that you have, you might be participating already in, and people that you are collaborating with, like currently. So in the communities, you can see posts that women do about what kind of collaborations they want to create or projects they want to work on. And they basically tell, mention some information about the project, how many collaborators are needed, and well, some hashtags that can help the app to make you find the right place, the right thing for you. So you can, this button for me is like, I'm interested. So I have a place here where you can save the post that interests you, so you can check later. And also from the other side, if the person doesn't receive much communication, she can see who, which persons said I'm interested, so she can contact directly. So let's say you want to contact a person, so you can send a message and you say, hey, I'm interested in your project, I think it's interesting. So you can set up a video call, like a one-on-one, if you want. Of course, this is something that you allow in your profile. This is something important. From my research and also from my user test, people said that they really need like the somehow the personal interaction. So it's very nice to see posts and things that people are talking about, but they needed to have like a sort of interaction, such as having a one-on-one conversation, or also attending to events that they could have in their city. So I decided to go for the Calendary, where you can set up a video call. So you say, okay, and you schedule the event, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalia. You did it. So, any question from the audience?
I don't have a question. I just have a comment. Great job, Natalia. I think that's a project that is, of course, speaks to all of us here, most of us. And I think it's important for us to create a community. And I really enjoyed your presentation and the prototype. Very good.
Thank you. Actually, it's not a chance that I'm doing this course in allWomen. I met Laura a few years ago. She was giving a course about design thinking that I joined, and I loved her. Well, all of the women that were working there, they were mainly, our teachers were mainly women, and I follow her on the social media. And when she posted about this course, well, Ines knows that I asked for information. I couldn't do it at the time, but well, I feel super related because I did so many things in Barcelona and created so many collaborations. I want to say collaboration. I know I'm repeating this word a lot because it's important to get to know that sometimes in order to empower yourself, you have to go and look for the opportunities. But some people don't know how to do it, and some people don't find the right places. So that's pretty much what I wanted to create.
Okay. We have more questions from Paula and from Mercedes. Paula, you can go first.
Hi, girls. It's also a comment, more than a question, but great. It was great, Natalia. I really, really like it. And since the beginning, I really thought there was something here, and I think we all agree on how collaboration is. Well, we all have seen it now these weeks, and I really like, because I remember talking about this with you, but I really like the fact that these archetypes that you did, somehow you can be all of them, meaning that after your experience with the app and everything, you can start by being this sort of adventurer, and then you can actually incrementally do more, you know. And I really like this that it's not that you will have a role and that's it, whether it's actually a platform that you can, you know, be using with time, and you can move forward and eventually be creating stuff and then be a mentor. And it's really cool that you give this chance, no? So I really like it.
Thank you. Actually, I didn't show that because I didn't want to extend the presentation that much, but there is an option to create like a post, like you can like create a collaboration that you're looking for. And also you have the chance to create a community. So as you said, you can be all of them or only one, or you can be iterating the roles.
And now Mercedes have a question too.
Yeah, I'll make it quick. First of all, great job. What a change. The last time I saw it, it has changed a lot, and it looks amazing. So congratulations for that.
Thank you.
I have a few questions about the form. To me, it wasn't really clear when that would pop up, because from what I understood, you could take a look around the app before becoming part of the community. Have you thought about what is available or not? If I haven't added, like, why would I enter the form if I can still look around?
A form to join a community?
Yeah. Like, can you still look at the content even if you're not part of the community?
No, you can't.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Most of the people that uses this kind of platforms said that at the end, there's a lot of people doing like just random things that not collaborating with each other. This is something that we discussed, Mercedes. I want to say that it was, for me, super hard, this process. You know that I actually spent days like thinking about what was the right problem, the right solution. But when I was doing my presentation, I realized how much I learned. And I also want to thank allWomen, because at the beginning I said that I could not attend to all of the classes, and you said that it was mandatory. So I said I commit myself to like work hard and to do everything I have to. So thank you very much, because it's really changed my life.
I'm glad to hear that. Congratulations, you have a great project.
Thank you.
It was a really good project and a lot of effort. So let's go. We have a question from Carolina, but I'm afraid that we will be here until 11. Let's go.
Great job, Natalia, because I know that you weren't always able to come to class, and that takes a lot of determination.
Thank you.
Yeah, you did amazing. It looks great.
I hope that the ones that are in Barcelona, we will have these open doors on next Friday. No, this Friday, not the other. Hope you see it there. Yeah. Yes. In the past, we go to karaoke and all that, but yeah, pandemic things. Okay, let's go with Alba. Alba, are you there? Yeah, perfect.
Yes, I didn't have the microphone. Hi, my name is Alba, and my project is about the communication and the tracking of the information by the workers in the construction sites. So I'm an architect, but I work as a design manager in a construction company, and I have to deal every day with problems. So that because this worker didn't understand what he had to do, he did another thing. Then you ask, he said this one said me that, but the other sent me a message on WhatsApp that I didn't see, and I could feel that there's something that may be possible to improve. So then I started a research project, and my objective was to learn deeply and understand more about how this communication and this tracking works. So I have to clarify that I'm talking about the workers that do the work. So let's say painters, carpenters, the installers. I'm a design manager, and with the architects and the project managers, there is a lot of programs to track information, to track cost, deadlines. But these people, they don't have a computer. They don't work with computers. They just have their phones. So I managed to do 6 interviews, and I got 32 answers to the survey. It was quite hard to get answers. I had to hand to people on LinkedIn, go to find construction managers on LinkedIn, because it's a very specific thing, and also because they are not very tech savvy, so they are not a lot in the lines. So what I learned from that, basically, I'm gonna make a few facts, is that traditionally it's true that the site workers have communicated always face-to-face or with phone calls. So nowadays, although most of them, they prefer face-to-face, they all have reported that they use a mix of ways. So they use phone calls, they use instant message applications, and also they use a lot of programs like WhatsApp to send images and to send videos, voice messages when there's not when the person doesn't reply the phone, so they don't forget to say something. So the thing that become the fact that stress most to the people is that they may forget something that is important. But although that, it's curious because only 30% of the workers take notes of what they tell them to do. And the next issue that causes more stress is receiving information from many different people or having to transmit to a lot of people. So also, although they are not super technological skilled people in general, they all have said they use the phone while they are working because they need to answer calls. So as a summary of the main points that cause stress or may end in execution mistakes is to forget important information when there is a lot of people involved in the construction, when a person that needs to take decisions is not presential on site, and that a worker doesn't understand correctly some information. It may be because they just don't understand, or it can be because of the language as well. They speak another language mainly. And then the beginning, I did lots of how might we for all the options, for all the problems I mentioned before. But in reality, I want to make a very easy to use tool. So I decide, okay, so I believe that I have to create a very easy to use communication platform with key features specific for construction workers to achieve more productivity and reduce the stress as well. So here we can see the first sketches for ideas. This was to how can we avoid to the workers to forget information. And then what I got from here to develop is that to have a list of tasks very clear and simple, but also that you can link this to any message that you get. The message can become a task, or that after a phone call, you can also create a task. And then we'll see that later I am developing this. So let's go through the design process. So because the workers are people that are not super technologically skilled, and also they are working while they may use the phone, they may have the hands dirty, big hands, protection glasses. So it may be that they need like an accessible application. So these were the requirements that I think my app should have, that is to avoid multiple actions on one single screen. So go step by step in a linear way, use big fonts, big buttons, avoid displacements or weird scrollings, just keep everything very, very simple. Then here we see the design inspiration guidelines. In construction, mostly everything is always orange or yellow. It's like the warning messages, it's the color of the vests, it's like whatever, when you think about construction, is yellow, orange. So I was kind of happy with this, but I didn't want it to make it too stressful, it is in already a very stressful environment, so I wanted to keep it calm. So at the same time, try to get a chromatic scene that is a bit more about earth as well. Construction can be related with the earth, like more calm colors. So here we can see the main buttons I created. Everything is quite big and easy. So this is the application that is called Hard Chat because of Hard Hat, that is the name of the hats we use in construction. And here we can see already a few screens of how I'm trying to solve the problems I mentioned before. So the first one is to reduce the possibilities of site workers to forget information. One is to have always notifications. So if you get a call, you will see it. If you get everything, all the calls, all the message will go through this application. So you will have calls, chats, tasks, and images. Then after having a call, you can save a task. Also, you can make a message become a task, and then all of them will come into tasks that they will not disappear until you have a click that is done. Then the next one is how to avoid information getting lost when there is a lot of people involved. Then you will, so all the contacts of the working with a construction company. The application will belong to a construction company, and when they pick subcontractors, they will have to install and they will have to do all the communication through this application. So then you will find very easily any contact. There will not be this thing that I didn't have your phone, I didn't know where you were, because you can find by company or by name and find very fast who is who. Then there will be chat groups where all the people will be in there, and albums of images that you can follow if they belong, if you are an electrician, you will follow the power and light, for example, the first one you can see here, and you will get any notifications in this when there are uploads of images, or if someone makes a comment to an image, you can see it. So now let's see how does this work. I have done it through two ways, like from a carpenter that just joined the construction company. They told them, put this application, and there is a process. And another from a construction manager that has to deal with much more groups, much more people. So let's see. So we can go here, sign up, name and surname, all the everything, password, continue. So he wants to call the site manager. So he wants to call. He doesn't have anything because he's new. He has his contacts here. Let's see if it's this one. Yeah, it's the one I want to call. Let's call him. Then when the call finishes, do you want to add a task after this call? Yes. Okay, I add a task. That is, the cabinets need to be 190 tall. It doesn't need to be a calendar. It's just a note. It doesn't need to have a date. It's just a note for himself. Save task. Here is the task. No date. Okay. Then, he got messages. Is again Tony, the site manager. He's saying he forgot to say that the architect needs samples before Friday. When can you bring them? I say I will come on Wednesday, but I don't want to forget. So let's pick this and save as a task. Task description, bring samples to site. Now I want to put the day. I put the day, save the task, and I have both of my tasks here. So for bring samples to site, if I go in here, I can click more information and go to the WhatsApp message. So you can just put something very fast to remember. And then when you want to, what was this about? You can go back to the WhatsApp. Save task. Now this one of the cabinets is not relevant anymore. I can mark it was completed, and I also can delete if I don't want to have it. Let's go home, finished. So now I'll do the other. Restart again, restart. Now I'm the site manager that already has the app. He has already notifications. Okay, what's happening in the chats? There is a chat of the power and lighting of the SFT project. What's happening here? They say they have finished some works and they have uploaded images in the album. So, okay, good work. I tell them to remember the heights of the sockets, attach the sketch, but I will also save this sketch in the album of the power and light. So I save it here. It appears that I uploaded. And also I can see the images that they told me before they upload. Let's see the image. And there is this one that looks something weird is happening here. They are not aligning the sockets. So I put a comment. Guys, the sockets are not aligned. Please, something is happening. Save, and they will get notifications about that. And that's all. So home, and here are the tasks. And that's all. So that's all.
Thank you very much. We have question from Susana.
Too fast, too furious. So, great. I really like your project because it's very different from what we are used to see, right? It's very practical. It's a very different type of user that it's, at least in allWomen, with all these projects, it's very rare to see this type, and I really love it. And I was really happy to see these design requirements, because you were considering the context of use, the environment. So they have big fingers, sometimes they have gloves. They need, like, you need all of these will condition your design, right? It needs to have space. And I don't know if you did that question, but maybe it's nice also to understand what size of phones they have, so you can play around on how you distribute information, etc. So great job. I also think you explained it very well, the process. I'm loving seeing all the ideation in all your projects so far. Super happy that you are sharing that part too. And I was just thinking one question, or I don't know if it came in your research or if it makes sense, but I was wondering, so would it make sense, or is it like a need for the project managing or the company to have some sort of log of activities? Because now it's like we have isolated areas of work, right? Is the lightning, or is this, and you have pictures, you have comments. But maybe is it necessary in your field to have some sort of timeline, like a log of activities, like a view, some sort of back office that you can track that, for example? I don't know if this is a need, but I was just thinking, okay.
Yeah, one of the ideas that came in the Crazy Eights, it was to have a blackboard. I think it was from Alicia or not, or from someone, like to have a shared place that everybody can see all the tasks of everybody. But then in the tests, people said, okay, but this is a mess, because if there is a lot of people, I don't care about what this one is happening, what this one is doing. But maybe it can be for big areas. The works on the building have to finish this day, so everybody knows.
I was not envisioning that for everybody, but more for the management. So people who are sponsoring or they need to keep track of everything. So I don't want to, if I'm a carpenter, I don't want to know everything that is going on with all the stuff. But maybe if I'm the manager of the construction work, or I'm the company or something, maybe it's needed. I don't know. It just crossed my mind, and I wanted to ask you if somehow this was there, or if it is relevant or not.
Yeah, it is a bit, not isolate. Yeah, I think it should maybe have something about the construction, that is the construction company, the one that buys the app, that like integrates the rest together.
Yeah.
So, it's a point to consider.
Because that will give them a way to check the pain points. Yeah. So maybe you are working with this carpenter, and he keeps on making these mistakes, and you see these in the log. So maybe you don't want to work with this person anymore because he's delaying and you're losing money. This type of stuff. That's why I was thinking about it. So if you work on a business plan, consider this from the other side, from the management, other users.
Good. Thank you.
Nice project, Ala.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Mercedes?
Hey. Well, first of all, congratulations. I did not get a chance to see your project, and I'm really surprised. I really, really liked it. I thought it was really original. It was a problem I have not even thought of before, and it makes complete sense that this could be a very, very viable solution. So great job with that.
Thank you.
I just have a couple of questions. Have you thought of including any sort of tool or something that could detect if a picture that is being taken doesn't have enough light, or is not useful? Because
I didn't think it's good, because in the construction sometimes people make pictures that I don't see anything with that. Yeah.
Yes, and because it's a small screen and maybe they're in a hurry or something, maybe that is something that you could it could be something that you could think of as a next step situation or something. It probably, or some sort of, I don't know, if a tutorial or some helpful tips or something that could help them make sure they have as useful pictures as they can, so they don't have to go back again if the picture is not right and stuff like that. And another thing I was interested in knowing is, have you tested the font size, the size of the type of the typography?
Yeah, I checked. I test with my phone. It's quite big. For me, it's even too big, maybe. But I think it's 18 mostly. All the buttons are 18.
Right, because it would have been another thing that would be nice as a next steps or as a possible iteration is check with the user, because the phone is something you keep very, very in a very short distance. But as you mentioned, these people are very specific with how they use technology. So maybe, I don't know, the font size using the notifications, for example, I found you have a lot of space there in the buttons. You can make it bigger, like a very obvious, like it is there. Look at this. Make it, because sometimes they don't really care, and they need to have a good look. But that's the only two things I could see that maybe you have like a little bit of improvement. You have a great project. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And there is other question from Natalia.
You don't have the micro, Natalia.
Sorry, it's not a question, Elba. I just wanted to tell you that I love your work. I was curious about how it would evolve from the first sketches that I've seen. I was not seeing super clear, but I think, one of my former works was in construction, so I really feel you. I know how it is, how messy it is. So as Mercedes said, I think it's super viable. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Can I make a quick question as well?
Yes.
I am in mute now. Go, Licia.
Yeah, just a comment. Really great work. I really enjoyed. And did you think about like grouping them in locations? For example, the carpenter, maybe they are developing a project to one site and also to another site. Maybe grouping them together, like to site and locations, so they know what's happening in that house and what's happening in the other house.
At the beginning, I thought in making that because normally when a construction company has different subcontractors and they work in different sites, I said, let's divide by sites, but then it was making